Yes, people. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. We are live after Manchester City make it through to the Carabao Cup final after beating Newcastle 3-1 with a 5-1 aggregate on the final scoreline. And guys, there's some conversations to be had, my people. There's some conversations to be had. We're going to be talking about Newcastle and where they're at. We're going to be talking about the Man City and the proper chances of winning the Carabao Cup. And Pep Guardiola, has he found a solution for Man City's woes? We will get into all of that today on today's show. Guys, I hope you've been having a wonderful evening. Why? What are 2 days of football? You went from one game with only one goal and very tight defensively, very cagey, to another one where it was just the floodgates open, both teams having chances, both teams trying to score goals. And listen, obviously the better team came up on top in the end because 5-1 over over 2 games is a very good scoreline to have. And you want to give it to Manchester City. I hope you're all doing well after today's game. Man City fans, tell me how you're feeling. You must be feeling very, 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 very happy in the comments today because you've been through it. You guys have been through it. You've not having your greatest season ever, but you're in a final, chance to win silverware, still in the FA Cup, still within 6 points of Arsenal in the Premier League, and also the Champions League is a competition that can put up so many surprises. So for as many people, for as much as Man City are not having the best season and there are definitely some issues they need to sort out, boy, when they're always lurking. They're always lurking around around that silverware. They're always sniffing. Final last year, probably final before that. I can't really say much about the season before. Last year they got to the final and didn't win anything. The year before that, they won something, but I forgot what they won. Was it the league? It was probably the league. I think it was the league. But yeah, guys, Manchester City, congratulations to them. Congratulations to Newcastle for that as well. Guys, let's get into it. Where should we start? Where should we start today? I just need to change the thumbnail a bit because I need to show. Yesterday, we did the whole aggregate scoreline for Arsenal. So we have to also do the same for Man City. So let me change that for you guys as we're speaking right now. Well, I'm going to start with Newcastle real quick. I'm going to start with Newcastle because obviously they're 2-0 down and they wanted to have a chance of going to the final to try and retain their Carabao Cup title. And the game plan just seemed to be go for it. Like flood the box, fast breaks, don't worry about the midfield. But in the end, it looked like that was the undoing of Newcastle because they were so open. It was so easy for Newcastle to get for Man City to go through and have chances on goal. And yes, it was the same for Newcastle going forward because towards the end of the game, they were having opportunities. Just offside was catching them out. The overall game wasn't. I think Eddie Howe got it wrong. I think he got it wrong, and I don't think the intention of attacking was a problem. That's fine. You want to make sure you go out there and win the game. But I think the game plan, how open the midfield was, the lack of compactness, the high line, I just don't think it was the right thing for Newcastle to do. And they haven't even got their best players there. I don't think that was their forward fit team. Joe Willock starting. I don't know where he was starting. Was he on the right? Was he in the midfield? I saw him in many different places. Joe Willock starting. You had obviously Walter Marder. Walter Marder's a good player, but he hasn't got the right people around him in this game. You needed people who's willing to feed the ball into his feet and then go out wide and cross because he's got good heading ability as well. He's 6'6". He's taller than any of the Man City defenders, and we just didn't see Enough of that today. He gets hooked off at half time. Obviously, Anthony Gordon getting injured doesn't help also. So, guy, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just don't think Eddie Howe got it bang on today. I don't think he got it right today. And it is a big question mark over Eddie Howe this season, because I've seen a lot of fans, and I've been talking to some Newcastle fans in the like Kane and Ash about just what's going on. A lot of fans are split. There's a lot of people in the fan base split on Eddie Howe. I've seen games from him where I'm like, you know what, this is why you want someone like Eddie Howe when he's got the full fit team, the just the high press, the never say die attitude, just the midfield being absolutely brilliant. But then you get games like today where it's like outside of doing what he normally does, what else has he got for us? And yeah, it just didn't look great. It didn't look great for Newcastle today. Eddie Howe, is it on him? Is it on the players? Is it on the ownership for maybe not recruiting properly? Because Alanga, a great goal. Hey, Alanga's my guy, by the way. People know this. Great goal for him today, but Alanga's barely been used. Ramsey came on today or played today, barely been used. Wissa, obviously, he's had his injury problems, but he's been in and out of the team. So there's a lot of question marks over Newcastle, and I still think they've got a chance of making it to the top 5. They just need to find some form, but there's going to be a lot of question marks on Eddie Howe, for sure, over this little type period that they're going through right now. On Man City, though, listen. Do I think it's their greatest performance? No. I think Newcastle played into their hands, but they were clinical and ruthless in that first half, especially with their first 3 goals. And they could have had loads of goals. They could have had 6. If the scoreline was 6-4 at the end of this game, I don't think that would have flattered anybody, because that's the kind of game it was. They were quick, they were fast, they were ruthless. And this is when Man City, with this team, look at their best. Not when they're holding possession, not when they're trying to slow down the play, but when they're quick, when they're fast, because I've got those kind of players now. Yo, you got Semenyo, I thought it looked pretty good today. When he has space and when he has the chance to drive 1v1, he's one of the best in the league. When he has a chance to get a shot off or a cross off, he's one of the best in the league, in my opinion, for that. And you saw that today. Tijani Reinders ghosting into the box, driving with the ball. That's what he's really good at, in my personal opinion. He had Marmoush. Hey, listen, Marmoush is always going to be in the shadow of Haaland, even though he's a left winger, striker, different modes of player to Haaland, but he's their backup striker. Again, he thrives in that space in behind, which Newcastle gave, and he gets 2 goals today. First one, hey, listen, that first one, I think if I took a bad touch and that happened to me, I also score as well. Like, that wasn't necessarily him doing that. Great, fair enough for him chasing that ball down. He could have easily gave up because of the bad touch, but he kept going and he gets that bit of fortune for his troubles. And then the second goal, again, just clinical. Just clinical. Semenyo on that side, trying to beat a few guys, and it falls to him, and he just finishes it. So, fair play to him. But this is this is what Pep needs to look at. Pep Guardiola needs to look at this formula. How do you get the best out of this Man City team? And it may not be the tiki-taka. It may not be complete control football, but it's about speed, transition, playing a bit quicker, playing a bit more direct. I think that's how you get the best out of this Man City team. Just gonna do something there. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments here, people. Make sure you get your comments and super chats in as well. We'll read them out live and direct for you right now. We have Kane coming on. We have Pete coming on. You know what's funny? The Man City fans, I don't know where they're at. I sent it. Hamza said he's available. Send him the link. Don't even know if I've seen it yet. You know what I'm saying? I spoke to Kel. Kel, obviously, being in America, she's busy, she's working, so she can't come on. Man City fans, where are you lot, man? You need more representation because you start to look like your stadium a bit empty. A bit empty. And guys, it's a joke, by the way. I know you City fans get sensitive over that stuff, but that is a joke. Here we go. City fans are already sweating facing Arsenal in the final and are already bringing up the mighty Gooners in the chat. Hey, listen, that final's going to be interesting. That final is going to be interesting indeed, because if Man City give Arsenal that kind of space, then there will be trouble. There will be trouble. But if Pep's a final guy, he may Galaxy brain it, or he might just outclass you. That's just what he does. We don't have the midfield, KJ. What to pay fast football? I don't necessarily think you need the midfield of like massive runners to play that kind of football. You just need guys willing to make the runs. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be the quickest or most powerful. You just got to be more intelligent. You know, you got to play the passes forward and ghost into the box slowly but surely. I do think you got midfielders there. Charlie Reinders, I think, will be excellent at it. Nico Gonzalez, I don't think I think he just needs to sit and spray the balls like he can do. Same with Rodri. If you get a compact midfield with the talented players that you have, you got Nico O'Reilly getting more minutes in midfield as well. And then on the break, you have the likes of Semenyo, Haaland, Marmoush, Doku, Foden, all breaking with space and time. They will Man City, they could do that, in my opinion. I think you guys are good enough. What else we got here? You miss Terry. Listen, I miss Terry too. You know what I'm saying? I miss Terry too. Terrace is not the same when Terry's not here, but that's right. But when I'm here, it's a different vibe. You know what I mean? One could say it's Vibes of C. One could say it's Midnight Vibes when I'm on. Watch out for that show, man, because listen, I think it's time. I think it's time to bring it back. I'm chatting to Terry. Midnight Vibes back in the chat. Let them know. City did look amazing, but it's more thanks to Newcastle. 4-5, 5-4, big chances. So is that 5 big chances to Man City and 4 to Newcastle? Is that what you mean? But yeah, like I think Newcastle also helped with that. It would have been interesting to see if Newcastle decided to maybe sit back and counter how that would have looked for Man City. And you know what? Also, I need a chat to Jamie Carragher, because this brother is duplicitous. You know why? Because yesterday, he and Gary Neville were chatting about Chelsea's game plan. Was it the right thing to do? They should have attacked more. They should have been more aggressive. Should have gone for it more. They flipping Newcastle do that approach against Man City, and I'm hearing, actually, I don't know if this was the right thing to do. Like actually, I know he had to go for it, but man's trying to say they had to go for it, but nah, man, miss me with that. Be fair in your analysis with these things, man. When it comes to these teams, you gotta listen to these commentators and call them out on their foolishness. Because 1 minute you gotta do one thing, 1 minute then it's the next. And granted, Newcastle had a 2-0 deficit to overturn. So going out all guns blazing like they did so early, look where that got them. But yet Chelsea, they had to go all out. It's just weird. It's just weird what these guys say. We're gonna give in the pan out in like 2 moments, just making sure. Phil, if you're watching, my friend, come backstage. We're gonna bring you guys out. We're gonna bring you guys out, man. We're gonna bring you guys out to have a little chat about Man City and Newcastle. Come backstage, my brother. When I see you, we'll get it started. What else are you guys saying here? We need his performance against Liverpool on Sunday. The last time we won at Anfield was 2020-21, the season where they won 4-1. I think you need to be a bit more pragmatic against Liverpool on Sunday. You need to be a bit more compact, have a lower line, And I think you guys could do some serious damage to Liverpool because we've seen what they're like against low blocks this season. You know, Klopp been complaining, not Klopp, sorry, Slot, be complaining about the low blocks, be complaining about the long balls. You know what it is. So if Pep adjusts, I think you could have a good chance against Liverpool on the weekend. But do you do that same kind of strategy against Arsenal in the final? Very interested indeed. Very interesting that game will be. I need that City dagger to put Liverpool in the Europa League. We will see. Liverpool are going to smash Man City. We need to play 3 centre midfielders against Liverpool. I agree with that. I think if you sit back, if you're compact against Liverpool, you have a chance. KJ Terry only shows up when Arsenal wins and hide when City wins. Hey, listen. In this modern world, there's a load of conspiracies, especially right now with everything that's going on with stuff, right? Epstein. With everything that's going on, there's lots of conspiracies. This conspiracy, I'm here for, people. I am here for it. Hashtag Terry Ducksman City. That's why it has to be, guys. Get that in the chat, people. Get that in the chat. Hashtag Terry Ducksman City. Because where are you, Terrence? Where are you? Where are you? To be fair, I actually know where he is. He's doing some important stuff for the Terrace, so don't worry about that. You guys have got me here. City thinks they have a chance. Ha ha ha. Yeah, listen, it's a final. They will have a chance. Haaland will be handled. Oh, hey, listen, Jay Faye is up for it. He is up for it. That is for sure. Big up Terry is scared of Man City. Yes, Terry is Man City is scary. Terry's cowering underneath his bed because he's absolutely fuming that they won today. Terry was on that. Whoa. Hold up. Let's not do that. Yo, don't be linking Terrace. Don't be linking Terrace, linking Terrence with that kind of stuff. Whoa, slow down there. Damn. I don't know. Is that timeout worthy, people? It might be. Yo, mods, just have a think about that. Jeremy Doku Go 11 says, I'm happy, but Liverpool will destroy us. It depends. It depends on how you want to play. If you play like that today, it's anyone's game. But if you play a bit more compact against Liverpool on Sunday, I think you'll have a better chance. The biggest Docker, see you in the final. Right, you know what, Phil? I told Phil that it's time, so he needs to hurry up. But you know, he told him I'm gonna bring out Kane. Man like Kane is here with us. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the Football Terrace. And also, we are sponsored by NordVPN. Terry's been doing this cool thing where he plays ads. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play one right now.
To avoid digital threats, just turn on NordVPN. Improve your protection against online trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get NordVPN.
I think that's class, by the way. All right, listen, go get NordVPN, the best place to get the best to get your VPNs from. You can do many things with it. You can protect from online scammers and online hackers trying to get your details. You can go and watch football from around the world and get subscriptions from around the world that you maybe could not get from the UK because we're different over here. You can do that. And there's other stuff you can watch, which I do not recommend. And it's banned for a reason. So don't do that. But if you want to indulge, that's up to you. But VPNs are used for many things. So yeah, go head over to NordVPN and get your discount code using the link in the description below. Kane! If I liked wrestling, I would have a wrestling quote for you and some kind of Kane jive, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? So I will not be doing that, but I will be saying, unlucky son, unfortunate about that. Tell me about your game from Newcastle and how your feelings about how things went.
Pretty shit, to be honest. I think this was just Newcastle just lacking confidence. I think I think Eddie set us up slightly wrong. I've got a bit of criticism for his setup. I think when you have a midfield three of Tonali, Willock, and Ramsey, which is fairly attacking, we kind of left Tonali isolated against all three of the Man City midfielders. And to credit to Pep, he filled that with a physical. That was a physical Man City middle, but they exposed us at the back. I mean, yeah, the Marmoush first goal was luck, but I guess what's the saying about luck? It's where opportunity meets preparation, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So credit for Marmoush for actually carrying on the run, trying to get there, and he forged his own luck. Same with the second goal. Really, I thought Trippier was poor with clearing it, and Marmoush gets an easy tap in for the second, and the third was again. It was just, I think, having the centre backs go into the midfield against this Man City midfield was just a bad decision from Eddie. I think credit to Pep. I think the way he set the team up attacking, I think he created physical mismatches across the back line. So he had both Semenyo and Marmoush on our wing backs, which were quite small. And then he had Foden and Reinders pushing up against the sort of wider centre backs and making them. So then what he would do is, I guess, if the short ball was on, you would have your intricate pass in between and playing around the centre backs. And if that wasn't on, then you'd play the long balls up against our wing backs. And they were able to come down with it and straight out our back line. So, credit to Pep for that. All that being said, I still think we had an interesting. We still could have been in this game. I think even after the first goal, Willock's 1-on-1. I think a confident Willock dinks Trafford there and
yes,
right back in it. Then you look at Anthony Gordon at the back post, another one where I think if he just lifts it over Trafford, that's 2-1. And then you're looking at the other chance. I mean, Visser missed 2 gaping goals. Alanga missed it for his second with the cross from Harvey Barnes, and he doesn't even put it on target, man. I think confident Newcastle, we finished those chances and we were not conceding as many of those opportunities at the back. But we made it similar. I have similar feelings from this game to the Liverpool game. We made it into a basketball game, and the other team were just more clinical than us. I thought we were right in there against both Liverpool and Man City, but we're just not finishing our chances, and it's killing us.
Yeah, no, I feel you, especially with the whole basketball element to the game. It was very, very interesting decision from Eddie Howe. You got a comment here, director, you about Eddie Howe. To be fair, says Kane, do you want to get rid of Eddie Howe? Because some of your fan base actually want to upgrade him in the summer. So yeah, go for it, Kane.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel it's one of those where I'm willing to give him till the summer to sort this out. But listen, it's not looking good, man. I think the main sticking point for me when it comes to Eddie is it's now been 2 seasons where when we're in the Champions League and he's not managed it, he has a problem with the lack of training time. I think he's probably, for me, he's one of the best sort of 1 game a week managers, where he can really train the team, the players, improve them, and get the best out of them. But when he doesn't have that time with them, we see now that there's problems. The first season, I was willing to write off and say, listen, he'll learn. But I don't know. The second, I think what I will say when it comes to the summer and Eddie Howe is he's not put himself in a position where it's out of the question. It'll be a case of if the board feels like there's a better alternative out there, then it wouldn't shock me if they made the change. But like I said, I still give him the summer too. It wouldn't be like tomorrow. I'm not like what Man United fans were doing with Amorim or like anything like that, man. The guy's earned to at least see out the season, and turn the ship around himself. But like I said, in the summer, if we're where we are now, then I wouldn't. I'd still be sad, but it depends who they brought in. But it is what it is, man. It's
the manager market in the summer is going to be very interesting. Obviously, World Cup contracts will be up, and managers will be having their release clauses available to purchase as well. People out of contracts, so it's just about where do Newcastle go from here and beyond. So say if you do end the season 8th or around 8th or 7th, it depends how the board feel like you're developing and progressing as a club. If it's in a positive way, I can see you keeping him. But if you feel like you need something a bit extra, something different, then yeah, I think they'll pull the trigger. And you've got the likes of someone saying Xabi Alonso, which is a long shot. But
yeah, Xabi Alonso's there and available and is willing to. Problem I have with Xabi Alonso is because obviously with Leverkusen, he had the sort of exit clause for Liverpool, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich. And I don't know, part of me feels like I wouldn't want a manager that has that kind of clause. And that for us, it would have to. It would for me. It would if we were going to get rid of Eddie Howe, it needs to be for a manager who has proven experience managing teams that operate in Europe. That would include a Xabi Alonso, of course, but at the same time, if he comes and says, "Yeah, but I want this release clause in my contract," then I would rather just say no. To be honest,
yeah.
Because there's no point having him going to the next level only for him to then go somewhere else, and then we're kind of starting again.
Yeah, I feel you. But Hamza was backstage. I don't know where he's gone. I was literally about to bring him out, and then he disappeared. So I'm telling him to get his ass back here. But in terms of Man City, going into here he is. He is back. He is ready, and he is happy. We've got Hamza in the building after coming out winning 5-1 in aggregate against Newcastle, going into the final. You haven't won the Carabao Cup in I don't know how many years actually. It's been quite a few years now. How are you doing, and how are you happy with the performance that you saw today from Man City, Hamza?
Absolutely. I think it was a great performance. I think thing is, first we have to give credit to Newcastle the way that they played second half. But the first half, I think a lot of City fans have been saying that there's a lot of factors that's affected us this season. Like Haaland, I think he's exhausted. I said it from beginning. I said, come December, you can't keep playing him every 3 days. I knew it. But it's had an effect on him. A great striker just doesn't become crap over the season. So you've seen Haaland drop off. Pep's dropped him. This is what we've asked for. I think he played with the false nine with Marmoush. And what does he create? I said it. He creates chaos. No one knows who's up front. Semenyo's cutting in. Reiner's going in. Marmoush is cutting in. No one knows who to mark. When you play with Haaland up front, they just know, fine. I lock off Haaland. Everyone knows that they have to play towards Haaland. Today, I think Newcastle was surprised. The way that we played, we came to them. I think we getting the goal early was important because you kill off the game. Once it was 3-0, I think it was difficult for Newcastle to have any chance to come back. And I think Newcastle this season have been poor, obviously. Not the same Newcastle I've been seeing. But come second half, I think when we were 2-0 up, I think City just put cruise control. We took off some of our players. And I think we were quite comfortable. I think the game was quite comfortable. But then, big up Newcastle. They still had the chances. They came in. I think Pep played a high line. The two inexperienced defenders at the centre-back. I think we could have conceded 2 more goals, but we could have scored 2 more goals. I think it shows you that one thing that City haven't. It's proving that we don't need one style of play. We can play multiple ways. One way of Haaland and one with the false nine. And Marmoush can play with the false nine. I think City, the way they played today, on average, I'll say 7 or 8 out of 10. First half, I'll say 9. But the second half, I think it was like 6, 7 for City standards. But at the end of the day, we're back at Wembley. I can send Arsenal fans the postcode to Wembley because we're always there every year. I know it's in London, but you know what? If you need the postcode, bail me. I'll send you the postcode for Wembley because every year at least I'm there. And I've won it three times in a row. I was bored of winning it. But this year, Listen, we got final against Arsenal, man. I'm preparing for that.
Fair enough.
Your chest is out, bro. Your chest
Yeah.
is out. Your chest is out.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Mo, and Toon Tactics, man. Like Phil. Welcome
Big
back.
up to the panel. Big up to the chat.
Yes.
Hope you guys are all blessed.
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah. Can't complain.
Phil, we were speaking Newcastle with Kane just before you came on. We'll come back to Newcastle now. We were questioning and wondering about Eddie Howe's tactics and his choices of what he wanted to do today. What is your opinion on how Newcastle played and the such open nature of the game?
That's a great question. I think you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't, isn't it? Meaning if he could have just come in and said, let's low block it and then wait for the last 70, 80 minutes of the game and then go for it and then still lose the game and everybody call him a coward. Or he can go for it and take a risk in the first 15, 20 minutes. Who knows? You might score the first goal or the second goal, of which we had an opportunity with Willock and with Gordon to do that, which we didn't do. But credit to City, impeccable when they get impressed, and how they turn around. Reinders in particular was really, really good. And in their final third, they cut us open. We took the risk. It didn't pay off. We keep it moving.
That's so. So at no point in the game you thought, you know what, maybe we should have made it more compact.
When they scored the third goal, I was like, "Sheesh, bro, I'm gonna have Steve Bruce flashbacks, bro. This is gonna get serious, bro." But yeah, it is what it is. Full credit to City. I would love to hear what the solution is. Is it to do what the Chelsea boss did yesterday? Is it to set up in the mid block? If you're 2-0, if someone says do what Spurs did, but Spurs didn't start the game 2-0 like already on aggregate, right? Yeah. That's a difference. So we started off with 2-0 on aggregate and we went for it. We got the press wrong, I think mainly through Botman this time. We actually had a similar situation against PSG where we drew 1-1, but we had a similar, we went man for man with PSG at PSG. And that first 10 minutes was looking very, very, very shaky when we conceded by Vitinha. So again, a good break from PSG. But we managed to kind of settle ourselves. We took our moment at that time as well. And we kind of got away with it in that game. But like I said, it didn't pay off for us this time. And again, full credit to City for taking their moments, taking their chances.
Yeah, I think that's fair to put. And then, if someone says to me, I'd rather my team go for it than sit back, I would never begrudge that. Because again, football is a game of opinions. Football is a thing where you want to see your team try. So one thing I won't begrudge Newcastle for always trying. Was it too early? Was it too open? That's all in the weeds for me. But that's fair play to Newcastle there. Mo,
I want to say something about it. When I was watching the game, with all due respect to the Newcastle people, Pep Guardiola resting a lot of players and Man City going 3-0 up. All I can think of while watching this game is that I thought that Newcastle would close the gap over the years with the ownership they had and the players they bought and Eddie Howe as well. And I haven't Marmoush, resting Haaland, resting Rodri, resting Shirky, you know what I mean? They haven't played Bernardo Silva. And I'm like thinking there is no Gavardio, there is no Diaz, there is no Guehi, there is no Donnarumma. And I'm like, there's a massive difference between these two teams. And I know that the difference between the two managers is enormous, right? This is Pep Guardiola, arguably the best manager we ever watched in our life, right? Versus Eddie Howe. But you would expect Newcastle to at least have something a little bit more than this in the game. And I'm like, the closing the gap between Newcastle and the top teams is going to be a very tough job for them, because I'm watching City today. I'm like, it was with ease. One long ball and Marmoush behind the defense, one diagonal ball, and it's 2-on-2 and 2-on-1, and there is nobody can handle this. And Newcastle, to be honest, I was thinking about it. If Arsenal play in Man City, would they be like this wide open, the structure? Because the structure of Newcastle didn't look good. It's not only about the individuals as well. It's the recovery. I know that Man City, Newcastle wanted a goal or something, but they fell 1-0 with ease. Marmoush getting behind the second goal as well. And I'm like, there's a massive difference between these two teams. Massive. And I mean, regardless of who you play, like Ilanga, scored a good goal, but completely should have scored 2 more, to be honest, or had a goal and an assist. And the quality of Ilanga is not there. to be honest. There's
So
a
what's the
massive difference
question?
between the two.
What's the question, Mo?
There is how long is it be until Newcastle at least close the gap with the top teams? Arsenal, by the way, let's not forget that Arsenal used to be knocked around by Liverpool and City just not long ago by 5s. I remember the 4s, the 5s, and this stuff. Man United used to be popped by. I remember the 5. We just remember the 7-0.
Yeah.
We still do every now and then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the gap is a little bit. You feel like the gap is. I'm not sure if it's tactically.
Well,
I don't know what it is about Newcastle,
Yeah.
but I feel the gap is getting bigger while it should be getting smaller
Well,
with the top teams.
I heard. Let's see what Kane says, but I don't know. We can't put it all in one game. You talked about. I don't know what Arsenal would do. Let's see what if Arsenal were 2-0 down going into this game. Are they going to be reserved Arsenal? I don't think so. I think they're going to go for the game. That's speaking of the game. In terms of the gap, again, in terms of Newcastle, started off at a much lower base compared to even Chelsea when Roman Abramovich took over and Guardiola took over. You only have to look at our team, which was a championship team when the owners took over. You also have to include that we've had 4 transfer windows now where we didn't buy a first team player. And we've still managed to have 2 qualifications for Champions League. We've had multiple semi-finals and finals and won a competition. In terms of closing the gap, it's always going to come down to growing your revenue, making the right decisions, and being
But
able
you
to
spent
pay.
a lot of money though.
How much money do you think we spent?
It's also
I
wages
don't
as well
know.
on top of that.
You don't
Just to put into context, Liverpool this past summer spent more than Newcastle make as a club. So this is, and then that's not including wages on top of that.
You bought Gordon, you bought Ramsey, you bought Elanga, you bought Voltemara.
Yeah.
Yes.
You bought Jacob. Like who else I said on the left? There is Harvey Barnes, there's Tonali, Guimaraes.
Go on, Mo.
Yeah, but this is
Botman. You bought Lewis Hall, Malik Diaw. There's a lot of players that you bought.
guys,
This could have been utilized.
In that same time period, I reckon if you rattled off who Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Man United all
They didn't
bought,
sit still, like
we don't operate in a vacuum more. This is what you have to appreciate. Where we started, if we take from when the owners first took over, Newcastle were 20th in the Premier League.
Yeah.
We literally just got promoted. We hadn't won in 14 games. That was where this ownership.
Yeah, but
started.
after this for a year, you were third. You were third.
Sorry?
In 1 year, 1 calendar year, you were third on the table. You remember that?
So we went from 20th. In half a season, we went to 11th. In that next season, we went from 11th to 3rd. Then we went down to and then we
went backwards,
overtaking the teams like Spurs, who again have more revenue than us. Like when you look at, there's a reason when people say if you look at the wage bill of all of the teams in the Premier League, it mirrors quite accurately towards where these teams finish. Now, obviously, you'll have anomalies here and there, which you'll see with like Man United before and Spurs, and then the opposite scale where you see Aston Villa and in this point now Newcastle. And right now we're at this sort of cusp. We have this glass ceiling where, in order for us to, if you were to say, how would you improve the team of last year? We're now having to compete to get players that these other teams like Liverpool, like if you just look at the summer this summer, that if you looked at all the players we were searching for, you would agree that they were probably the only kinds of players we had to get in order to improve our team and compete. But what happened? All of the other teams that have more money, more prestige, more of the history, the food chain, all this stuff that was rammed at us this whole summer, they also needed all these players, and they have the pull that we don't. And then, unfortunately, the way that your Man City and your Chelsea circumvented it at the time to break into that was pay over the odds. But now the rules don't allow you to do that, rightly or well. I think rightly, and I have my own issues with it. There are ways that other teams get around it that I disagree with, but we can't do that. And you also have to admit as well, when this ownership came in to try and buy Newcastle, it was met with the most vehement opposition from the rest of the league based on who they are. So, of course, when they come in, they have to be squeaky clean So when you're seeing teams that like Brighton, who have like a £400 million loan from their owner, who apparently is getting done for betting, but that's allowed. Imagine if the PIF went, we are giving our team a £1 billion interest-free loan, that Premier League would immediately go into uproar, and APT would be overturned instantly, and Newcastle would be scuppered for it, and that's fine. So we can't go down the route that some of these teams are, and it is what it is. I see some people saying Aston Villa are ahead of Newcastle. Yeah, this season. Last season,
they, as much as I appreciate Villa, obviously being a Brummy lad, they financially, they're on the tightrope. They're on the knife's edge. If things don't go well for them, it will be peak for them, because they use, I think, 9% of their turnover on wages.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
So, and ask the Newcastle fan a question.
Which one?
2
years I've been saying this, yeah. I've been asking you.
There's more of us than you. More of us here. There's more of us at your stadium than there were you guys.
No, I respect Newcastle because I watched it during the Faustino Spria days, yeah. Barton days, here, Rob Lee. Yeah, I remember those guys. Timur Keshbaya. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've been saying for 2 years, yeah. Eddie Howe, they need to sack Eddie Howe. They have to they have to go to that next stepping stone and forget this emotional thinking about, oh, look what he's done to us.
What's the question?
Yeah, so I'll flip it to who's you replacing him with?
I'll tell you, there's better coaches than Eddie Howe. Ariola.
No, don't just say there's better coaches. Give them names. Even before Ariola has no experience in Europe, so how can you tell that?
I think he's better, and Emery's way better first. But
what makes Ariola better than Eddie Howe?
Tactically, bro.
What does he do? What does he do tactically that Eddie Howe doesn't do?
The way he plays, he's brave. The way that he's been Newcastle have invested in the squad. You've not moved forward. You've moved backwards. You've now gone way behind than where you are.
Giving you a 5 year 4 years of progression up until today.
I think Ariola, he's worked with a small squad without spending. He lost three of his best players. He lost Kekes. He lost Kekes. He lost the centre back and he lost the right back. Was he? And then he lost Semenyo, and they play better football than what Newcastle are playing. And
Newcastle's problem, I don't think, is the style of play of football, because we've seen it's effective. It's the management of European competition, in my opinion, and squad building, which again the manager can't really blame completely on him, because he doesn't have the money. He doesn't make the money come in. Yes, he had to do. It was him and his brother or someone, or his cousin or uncle or someone was doing the transfer. Nephew, that was a nephew. Doing the transfer this year, but that's because the club didn't replace.
No, can
I come with the fact now? I just did the math. Can I come with the fact?
Can I answer the question, Mo?
Go ahead.
Our sporting director, which was our second sporting director before the third one came, decided to run away the day before the transfer window. They called Eddie Howe while he was on holiday and said to him, Eddie Howe, please, can you come back and do the transfer?
People in the chat and everyone make with that information whatever you want. I went and actually did with Transfer Market the value of the transfers. Let me just finish this. The value of the transfers since Eddie Howe took over in 2022. Newcastle United have spent close to £700 million.
Is it pounds or euros?
Facts.
780 million euros, which is to 680 million pounds. Not counted for agent fees, or there's no wages. Nothing. This is a lot of money for someone to come here.
Hold on. Let's stop there. Hold on. I
just want to continue with my point. And for anyone to tell me that Arsenal's base was better, Arsenal, when Mikel Arteta took over,
you're not gonna do this.
Arsenal, when Mikel Arteta took over, literally they wanted to get rid of the whole team.
I beg you, go on Google. Just go on Google and search Newcastle's starting lineup on the day of the takeover.
Not the
Like,
point.
Mo,
You're missing my point.
No, you
Right,
just
so-
said
no,
you
but
just
what
said.
is-
I think you are missing my point.
No,
What is your point? Because you said
Okay,
a lot of
because
money.
he missed. He ignored what I said.
No, I'm about
Like
to answer
you
it.
ignored. What I said is, I don't care about
much money we
Arteta's
spent.
start. I don't care about Arteta's starting point. The reason why for Arsenal, it's a specific case because when Arteta took over, regardless of the Aubameyangs and the Lacazette and the Ozils, he was tasked
Yeah,
to
to
spend money to build completely new team. The only
Yes.
youngsters that were there were Martinelli, Saka,
Okay.
right? So these are the Saliba was coming from, he was loaned. So Newcastle cannot say, but the base of Arsenal was better because that
Why?
base is okay. I'm gonna tell you
Okay.
because that base was not used
No.
for the Arsenal team that
No.
went and challenged for the
No.
league in 22-23.
No, so
Go
you did it. Go on, KJ. Go on,
I
KJ.
have got it up here.
Tell me, tell us.
But the lineup is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
It's not
I
irrelevant.
already
It's not.
explained why it's
It's not.
irrelevant.
You know why it's
People don't
irrelevant,
want
Mo?
to
'Cause
listen
you
to the
don't-
logic.
No,
You
I am
don't
about
want to listen to
Is
the
it
logic.
okay? Can I answer you? Because
You don't want to listen to the logic, but it's
No,
fine.
but
You
Mo,
answer
Mo,
with the logic.
Mo,
Go ahead.
Mo,
Go ahead.
you
Fadal.
had a show literally earlier today, a really good, intense show about facts and figures between Staffy and Hussam. You've given your facts. You believe that Arsenal had a lower base to Newcastle.
I
Is
never
that your
said
contention?
that. I never said that.
Okay, so what is your point?
So what's your
The
point
point,
about base?
okay, I'm gonna tell you. The
Spend
point
money.
is, let me explain. When Pep Guardiola inherited his team, we can
No, it's Pep
use that.
Guardiola.
Let me.
Go
I
on.
need to give an example so people can understand the point.
I thought it's
Right?
Arteta. I thought it's Arteta's Arsenal that we're looking
But
at.
I need to give an example. But you're not listening,
That
Philip.
was
again.
Arteta's Arsenal. KJ, am I in the wrong? Like, am I in a different stratosphere here?
Philip, by
No,
the way,
no, no.
you
I'm still
Philip,
waiting to
you
do that.
interrupting me is not gonna make me change how I explain the point, right? So let me finish so you can understand. I'm coming to Arteta. I'm giving Pep an example. When Pep Guardiola inherited Man City, there were players that were there. That's why that he used for his teams to win. Good players like a Kevin De Bruyne. When Mikel Arteta inherited the team that he had, the team that he challenged with, all the stars, all the good base were not there because he was tasked to get rid of them. So the base for Arteta is Dilsh, and the base for Newcastle is Dilsh. Because Arteta didn't inherit someone that he used later, so you can say you inherited someone that you used later from your base to challenge. I hope that made sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
It's the same. So it's the same team that he won the FA Cup wins. Are you going to let me do it? So go on, KJ.
Yeah, of course.
Please
Go
do
ahead.
inform Mr.
Okay,
Mo.
so the first lineup for the Newcastle after the takeover was this. It was
Mhm.
Darlow in nets, Manquillo at right
Ooh.
back. Yeah,
Mm.
Lascelles and Kieran Clark
Keep
at centre
going.
back.
Keep going.
Richie at left back.
Spicy.
Crazy.
Richie left back.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
left back.
yeah, that one
Easy,
good game.
easy,
man,
easy.
so we have
Yeah,
to play
Isaac
that.
Cool.
Hayden at CDM.
Do you remember him, Mo?
Midfield two of the 2 8s was Sean Longstaff and
Ooh.
Joe Willock.
Keep going.
And then the front three was Joe Linton on the left, Wilson up front, and Alan St. Maximin.
And so,
at
yes,
right.
Arteta started with a lower base than than Newcastle United, which is absolutely it's absolutely laughable that you would suggest such a thing. You mentioned 680 million pounds, right?
780 million euros.
780 million pounds. You very conveniently didn't use all the spending by all the other clubs. Liverpool alone spent nearly half a billion in this transfer window alone. In the 5 years, that's 10 transfer windows, Mo. Newcastle had 4 transfer windows where they didn't buy one first team player. Not one first team player. We had 3 transfer windows in a row when Eddie Howe didn't buy one first team player, and he got Champions League qualification and he got a League Cup. You tell me if Arteta or Guardiola or anybody else that you've mentioned, would they be able to do that without buying a first team player? So when you say, oh, but Newcastle spent lots of money, it shows an ignorance of where Newcastle started off as a base, but also how that money was spent, over what duration of time that was spent, and what Eddie Howe was able to do literally with a much limited funding and ability to spend. So like this whole thing.
Once you finish, I want to respond to him. Once he's finished.
No, please do respond. That was
Okay.
it.
The reality is, again, I'm going to say that again. The base, because I think you
Let's
don't
come
want to
back to the
understand
base.
what I'm saying. You
Let's
don't
come
want
back to the base.
It doesn't matter about the lineup you have. If the lineup that Arsenal used to challenge for the title within 2 years or 3 years of Arteta's reign, and at that time he didn't spend 700 million pounds. He didn't at that time when he challenged for the league. He didn't. And the players that were used has nothing to do with his base because he didn't use these players to challenge for the title. Basically, if you have a very good cast, but you get rid of all of them and you challenge with a new cast, that means that you started with base 0 because you didn't use any of the players that you inherited. I think that is basic logic that anyone
It's
that
not.
wants
It's faulty logic. It's faulty. Mo, it's faulty logic.
And by the way, I'm just gonna respond
KJ's
to the second point. The lineup doesn't matter. Okay?
it does matter.
I explained to you
That's
why.
the base. That's what the base is.
No. I explained to you, but you don't want to understand.
No, because Mo, you're saying 2-3 years later.
The base of your cast,
Mo,
Philip, again, you cannot debate that point. The base.
I'm trying to debate it, but you're not listening.
No, but you aren't. Because you aren't responding to the point.
Because you're not. Because you're responding wrong. What you're saying is 2-3 years later, Arteta had a different squad that he competed for the Champions League with, and he spent less money. Exactly, spent less money because the base of where Newcastle started was Champions League level. Mo, like what?
I guess the way to explain it to you, though, Mo,
I can explain it, Philip. You don't want to understand it because
no, you don't understand logic.
Facts.
But
KJ. Just say for instance. Let me just say for instance, yeah, you have a house that has no doors, no bathrooms, no rooftop, no anything, compared to having a house that has a doors. They might not be them.
Fantastic.
Let me finish.
They tore down that house. They didn't use any of the walls. Philip. They didn't use any of the walls. They didn't use any of the bathrooms.
What I'm saying. I'm going to speak over you, Mo. You're going to ruin the show, and I'm going to speak over you. You're embarrassing yourself because you got faulty logic.
I'm not embarrassing myself. Don't tell me. Okay, listen.
You've just read it.
I am very listen, Philip. I am very respectful to you.
I'm going to finish.
Don't tell me I'm embarrassing myself on the stream, Philip.
Because this
I am very respectful to you, my friend.
No, if you're respectful,
I did not talk about personal. You spoke over me multiple times.
No, because you literally
I did not tell you.
I literally said,
that you are
KJ, allow me
yourself.
to give you. Allow me to give you. All I asked was, KJ, can I give you this example? And you talked over me. Newcastle had a house of no doors, no bathrooms, no anything, and had to build from that base on a smaller budget compared to what an Arsenal had, where you have a house with doors and windows and everything else. Now, I'm not saying they're the fanciest of doors. They're not in a mansion, right? And they had to clear it out as well. But they had a bigger budget, a bigger name, and they were able to do that. The base of where Newcastle, you can't say to me, the base of where Newcastle started was far lower and with a less of a budget and with less money to spend compared to Arsenal. To then say, oh, but Newcastle or Arsenal started on the same footing because 2-3 years later, Arteta challenged for the league is a faulty logic, Mo. You cannot say that Arsenal and Newcastle were on the same.
Hold on. I will respond to him once he's done.
We can't respond to him once he's done because this has been going on. I think both.
No. I need to make this point, KJ. Simply. I'm sorry.
I need to ask Hamza a question about his team.
Listen, I need to respond to that point. The facts are, you went about the name. Which is something I absolutely agree with you. Arsenal's name is bigger, but we were talking about the player and the squad. Let me tell you, the house that you're talking about, Arsenal, if you completely tear down that house and you start from scratch, at that time, you are actually judged based on the land you have without the walls, because Arsenal didn't use any of the walls and the bathrooms and anybody to challenge. That is my point about you. Anyway, I'm done with this.
All right.
Guys in the comment section, let us know what you
should
think.
have used Bournemouth, man. Iriola's team.
Hamza,
that guy's got nothing.
Hamza, don't worry about
it. Iriola is currently below Eddie Howe, and that's Eddie Howe.
Look at how many players would Bournemouth take from your team.
In our banter era,
this is insane.
Listen,
Hamza, this is insane.
Guys,
just 1 second. Let me just convince them, because this is a problem. It comes
this is
to a point
insane.
No, because I
We
love
were getting
Newcastle
compared
fans.
to Arsenal. We were told we were
Newcastle
shit. We
fans
were
deserve
nobody.
better.
Yeah, well, apparently we had a better base than Arsenal. Like,
No,
what's
you
all
don't.
this smut?
No,
Like,
Arsenal's
I
different.
never
Please.
said that. I never don't lie on my name. Don't lie on my name.
if we
Don't
were
lie on my name.
But you're saying we should have closed the gap, right?
like,
Yes.
We should have
It's
closed the
not-
gap on Arsenal
Okay, I'm
right now.
gonna say it again because people didn't hear. Don't lie on my
we
name.
heard it. We just think
Don't
it's
lie on my
ridiculous.
name.
But
Don't lie on
here's-
my
You're
name.
here's-
saying we
here's the
should have
thing,
closed
though.
the gap.
You're not, Philip. You're not slick. Don't lie on my
You
name.
know,
Guys,
you
You're
just
not
got
slick,
bad
bro.
logic,
You're
Mo.
not
That's all
slick.
it is.
You're
You
not
just got
slick.
bad
I've
logic.
got a show to run.
Accept it.
I have to wife
Facts
to
and
get back
logic.
to. I think Phil has a wife to get back to. Same with Kane. Hamza, I'm not too sure about.
We
you.
have our
I
wife.
was going to just quickly about the last statement.
No, please, I beg you. I beg you. I don't want-
Hamza, we don't care about Iraola, Hamza. Hamza, we don't care.
Why do you never Eddie Howe
Please,
so much?
please,
Guys, we don't
please.
care. Guys,
It's
we
not
don't
a
care about
case of
Iraola.
overrating
I feel sorry
Eddie
for
Howe.
Newcastle.
He's
They're
just
good
done more
fans.
than Iraola.
Guys in the comments, let us know what you
come on, I
think
need to get
of
to
this
Newcastle
debate.
fans.
Should Newcastle have leveled up quicker in the time that they've been here in the Premier League
less
with all this money? That is the question that we basically have been trying to answer. And we
God.
do not
You
care about
either-
Iraola.
You either really love us, Mo, or
So-
you really hate Arsenal.
So here we go. We've got some comments here. Then I'm gonna ask. I need
I
to
don't
ask.
care about anybody. I just speak the facts, and people don't want to
That's
believe
not
it.
facts, man.
It's-
You're
just-
crazy.
Saying it's facts doesn't make it so. Like, it's just
Here we
crazy.
go. We got Ace. Ace says, "KJ, ask Hamza how City got a result today. I'm sure it was extremely cold. It was
No,
extremely
it wasn't.
cold. Today.
It was 9 degrees today. So it was a cold.
It was just enough.
Nice
It was
view
just
today.
enough.
So there's more
If
people
the
that have body
Saudis,
heat.
if Saudis need a new club, call up Clear Lake. That's from a Chelsea fan.
Big up
Eddie
Chelsea.
is a great domestic manager. He brought Bournemouth from almost non-league into the Prem. Maybe Kane is right that he struggles with adding European competitions into equation. I think that's also to do with how Newcastle are trying to build as much as it is Eddie Howe. So you can't put all the blame on Eddie Howe to that, but there are question marks.
How could we be struggling with that base that we got? That amazing base though.
I'm only convinced. I'm officially convinced that Mo is an Arsenal fan, or him and Arteta are in love.
Oh, he loves some Arteta, baby.
Oh gosh, wait, why for that? Why for that? Mo, however you slice that cheese, you are wrong, man. You're just glazing Arteta and Arsenal.
Jeez.
I don't think, I literally don't think Mo's point had anything to do with just trying to glaze Arsenal. Is more to do, as an example, to compare with Newcastle, not to do with Arsenal. They feel like they philosophical, equilibrial, mathematical equation equates to the quantum of obligatory base. Wait, to be fair, that whole debate sounded like this. I'm not gonna lie. That is what it sounded like. And then we got base Newcastle started on is like into today is rubbish.
Lower. Like this is because I'm a big fan of Football Terrace from the beginning, and I remember when the takeover happened. And Newcastle lost 14 games in a row, and people were laughing, saying, "Could they be the richest club in the Championship?" That was the levels that Newcastle were at. That was what the levels that Newcastle were at. So let's just keep that in mind when we're talking about base.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm based, as the young people say.
Based, bro.
Yeah, I'm based, bro. Ronin, I got Ronin, big up, man. That's the biggest load of bull ever, Mo. You either wanted attention or you're trying to
making me look
one
good,
up
Mo.
on Staffy and Sam from earlier. Can't be serious.
You're a Chelsea fan that you don't show up your face when your team lose, and you just super chat, bro. You're a Chelsea fan that is hurt from yesterday. Seriously, bro. You couldn't debate. That's a problem with people. When you can't debate, at least Philip debates the logic, the point. Once you start talking about the person, you're lost. You already lost. Thank you for the donation, my man.
No, big up Ronin. Ronin does come on when he's available.
Yeah, thank you for the donation. I haven't seen him since Chelsea been bad.
I'll see what he's doing and get him back on.
Yeah,
All right, last
please
question of the day before we're out here, and you can enjoy some Al Ahwa with Hassam and Amanda. So, Hamza, I've been waiting to ask this.
I'm gonna go KJ.
Big up, man.
Take care, Mo. God bless.
Hi, Mo.
Yeah, so you're through to the
As
final,
always.
Hamza. You're now against the mighty Arsenal. You're facing your young apprentice, your former apprentice in Arteta. How do you think right now? Obviously, there's a few weeks into the final, but right now, just look at it from your perspective right now, how well do you think you could do against this Arsenal team, and can you win the Carabao Cup?
100%. I think when you've got Pep Guardiola, who's, I think I've said it before so many times, this guy's the greatest manager I've ever seen in my life. Like, you have to go there confident. It's to the mighty Man City, who know how to get into the finals. We've been there so many times. I know we've lost a couple of times, like Community Shield against Arsenal or the Crystal Palace against the FA Cup, but most
You want to
of the
mention
time-
Man United?
Oh, the United, oh my days. Okay. We're going to have to change the venues. Listen. What a shame. Listen, I think we're quite confident. I think we know how to play Arsenal. I know Arsenal have only beaten us once in
When's the last time you beat Arsenal?
Well, we beat them 2 years ago, a year ago.
We've got a better record than you. Jeez, the Rays, bro.
When we played them in September, we nearly beat them.
No, don't do that. Don't do that, Hamza.
They came in and did a 0-0 draw on Etihad. They beat us 5-1 when we had like 6 players injured. Fine. But we thumped them how many times? 3-1, 3-0, 5-0. How many times have we been Arsenal? Like it's rare for me to. I've not witnessed my Arsenal beating.
What was the score last year? Wasn't it like 5-1 last year?
You have not been Arsenal since 26th of April 2023.
Oh my word!
When we went to win the treble.
And last year they whooped you 5-1.
Yeah.
We went to win the treble.
So here are the scores from. This is going from the latest one backwards. Yeah. So 1-1, 5-1 loss to Arsenal. Then it was 2-2, 0-0, 1-0 loss to Arsenal, and a 1-1 draw that you lost on penalties on the Community Shield in 2023. So you have not beat them since April 26, 2023.
Wow.
When we beat them 4-1 and we went to win the treble, I think that was the most important part.
Yeah, but this is 3 years now, bro.
Community Shield, we were beating them, and I think they scored an equalizer in the 94th minute when he deflected off Akanji and they took us to penalties and they won that scamming penalty. And then they drew 1-1, shamelessness, and they celebrate as if they won the Champions League final.
You need to give them the pep talk before they go out. You need to.
Wait,
I'm scared of Arsenal. I swear, the last team I'm scared of is Arsenal Football Club.
Put the heated blankets around them.
I'm more scared of Tottenham, United, Chelsea than Arsenal Football Club in the final, because we know how to play them. We know how Arteta plays.
You don't have to win.
He's going to set up a defensive display. But guess what? Man City have got the players. We've got Erling Haaland. Okay, he's not on form, but he will pick up form. Marmoush is scoring goals now. Semenyo's been addition to the team. You look at the Turkey, he's been playing out of this world, like amazingly well.
You should have been in our change room today. I reckon we would have turned it around.
Rodri's back. And you look at Man City, okay, Gay might not be available in the final, but Ruben Diaz is back already. Man City are getting the players back. John Stone's coming back in a week's time.
You can sell salt to a slug.
All our players back on the right time. And I think if we beat them, I think if we beat them psychologically, this has a massive impact on Arsenal, because this might be the downfall.
Wait. Okay.
Hold
on.
No, you heard it right, KJ. You heard it right.
If you beat Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final, it's going to be the start of their downfall. Is that what you're saying?
100%. Because we know there's one team that you put them under pressure, they capitulate. It's Arsenal Football Club. They should have finished us off this season. It's one of our worst seasons that we've had for the last 10 years, other than last season.
It was last.
But guess what? Drew to Nottingham Forest. They drew to Nottingham Forest. They drew to the worst Liverpool team at home, who they
number one in the Premier League, number one in Europe.
They got beat to United, and they luckily beat Wolves 2-1.
But they're still number one.
And yesterday they packed the bus against Chelsea. What
were
they
doing? They won the game 1-0.
They need to do anything.
Yeah, but they parked the bus. They were not brave.
Yeah,
Arsenal are not a brave.
We were brave. We were brave.
We lost 3-1.
we were hella brave. We were brave. How brave?
The one thing I don't get, you haven't beat them in six games. You haven't beat them, and one of them is a 5-1 drumming.
No, we beat them once, is it?
No, you haven't beat them in 6 games, bro.
Okay, you counted the Community Shield.
Yes, because they beat you.
Okay, let's go back. Community Shield, they packed the bus. And no, we should have won that Community Shield. They 2-2, they packed the bus because we came back and we won. We drew last minute, but we know they packed the bus. 1-1 when we played them recently, we were winning the game comfortably.
If they win, if City win after this is going to get clipped for
Arsenal. I'm
not gonna lie. If there was ever a game that you would not want to use as an example, it would be a one-off game against Arsenal where there was a trophy on the line. Because the last time you've done that, now you've just said you've lost because they parked the bus. So maybe they do the same thing and beat us. So
no, the only time they've beaten us was 5-1 last year.
No, they beat you. They beat you 1-0 in the Premier League after the Community Shield as well.
They beat us in the community. When? When was this?
They beat you 1-0 October 8th, 2023.
That's after the treble, wasn't it?
What's that?
We're not losing. We're not losing. Bro, what are you? Do you really think Man City with Pep Guardiola? I'm scared of Arsenal Football Club.
Yes,
you should be.
I don't know.
You think you were gonna scare me,
bro? I've seen you. I've seen Pep Guardiola gallop the brain about against Chelsea, bottle it against Man United. You know what I'm saying? Like, Arsenal are better than that Man United team that beat you in the FA Cup final. They're better than that Crystal Palace team that beat you in the FA Cup final. They are actually better than the Chelsea team that beat you in the Champions League final.
Yeah.
Bro, at the end of the day, we've got the best goalkeeper in the world. We've got the best player in the world, who is Rodri, best DM in the world. We've got the best striker in the world by far. They've got one of the bummy strikers, Goikares, who no one rates. I think we go there, and we've got the greatest manager in world football. Why would we not?
I wish he was in Newcastle's dressing room. I love this, man.
Of winning. Listen. The thing about football is about the experience about winning. Tell me, where do they have the experience about winning? Where? Tell me. When have they won a major competition?
You're winner. You're not a winner until you're a winner.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a point
until
there.
you're a winner.
So who do you think?
Remember, they got rid of the house and they've built another house. So
yeah. They got rid of the bathroom and the door. Everything gone. They rebuilt the house now.
Less money.
Okay, Hamza. If they beat, say if they do, because I know you say okay. If it's the downfall, if they lose, what does it mean if they win it then?
We'll talk on if they I don't believe they're gonna win it. I don't believe they're gonna win it. I don't believe they can win it. I think the occasion will be too great for them. I think the players, they bottle under pressure. We've seen Arsenal when going gets tough and the media's looking at this is a final, Arsenal. This is the final. My players have done it. They've got the experience to do it. Fair. But Arsenal, I think this is the hurdle. The world is watching you now. Try and win it.
Granted, one thing I will say is the first final since when? What, the FA Cup?
Yeah.
It's been almost 6 years that they've been in the final. So I'm not saying, Hamza, you're wrong. I'm not saying
Wigan. If they win it, they did a Wigan against us. Then I'll say that.
This guy. All right, listen, I gotta end it there, man. I gotta end it there. We've got one super chat here. We got from Ronan saying he has a job, talking to Mo about why he's not been on shows recently. Also, Ronan, don't listen to Mo, man. I'll big you up, man. You're available when you're ready. Big up. My guy. Guys, listen, it's been a fantastic show. I was not expecting. We've got another super chat here from man like Matt. Hope you're doing well, my boy. It says, fun fact, Arteta hasn't lost a final with Arsenal Football Club. I mean, yeah, you've been to like
one. He's won one.
You've been to one, so yeah.
He's won he's lost a semi-final.
Yeah, he's lost many semi-finals and quarters. You know what? Even the fourth round of the FA Cup.
Everyone's done that.
Even with that new house.
Even with the new house.
He lost to a team. He lost to it. Well, that's where we closed that. We closed the gap, and then they opened it.
Yeah. But you know what?
It's all our fault.
At least he didn't lose to Grimsby away from home in the third.
Do you know? Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, guys.
We beat you to that. KJ, trust me, Newcastle have done worse than Grimsby. We've done worse.
Nah, there's no way.
Trust me. When it comes to pay, this is don't worry. Kane knows there's levels. You don't want to know.
I watched us draw 2-2 against West Brom at home in the Championship. I fucking cried. I was there. Peter Lovenkrands scored.
Was that the season where you almost had the greatest Championship season we've ever seen? Like, because when you guys are in the champs, you guys do madness down there.
Yeah, man.
We just win.
Maybe because our Oh, bit nah, forget.
Basically, why? That's why.
Yeah, basically high. That's high.
Hey, Jan, you see the
$650
final whistle, Sandro Tonali and Pep Guardiola.
Or the
Okay.
beefing.
They know they're talking.
Oh, the talking.
Friend,
I said this summer. City must sign Anderson and Sandro Tonali. Those two players we need.
Okay.
These guys want to keep on giving Trafford.
By the way, both players brought to you and developed by none other than Eddie Howe.
Don't say that. No. Don't say that.
I like that one. That was good. That's good. Right, guys, we're going to head out of here. Thank you for everyone who tuned into the show. And make sure you subscribe to the Football Terrace, the only place to get fair, unbiased football opinion. Yes, the only place to do that.
That's
right
right.
there.
That's
Also,
right.
make sure you are liking the stream. Make sure you are sharing the stream out to everyone who hasn't watched it yet. And also, stay tuned for more Terry. He is back in the morning. We've got six-sided for you tomorrow. We're going to build up to Man City, Liverpool, Spurs, and Man United. Whoever Arsenal playing, because you know Terry's going to cover that because he loves that team. And all the wonderful Premier League stuff going on this weekend. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, thank you so much. This stream is redirecting you to Hussam's channel, and Al Hawa is live right now. So make sure you go over there. Hamza will be there as well, hopefully spouting the same foolishness I've just heard right now. Until tomorrow, people, have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your night. Sleep well, and peace out.